Joe here with Danny from Migros, and we're at the ECRM Euro Food session in Poland. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, tell us a little bit about Migros and your role in the company.
Well, like I said, Migros, we are a big company in
Yes.
Switzerland. So there are different sub-regions, and I have the honor to work for Migros Aare, which is one of the 10 regions. We are one of the main regions in terms of volume. We're the biggest one out of the 10, which is like a family. And into what is Migros Aare, there are 2 divisions. We are on the gastronomic division. So my role is the head of category management, product management, and purchase in what is all the gastronomic area.
And the gastronomic area, can you define that a little? That's more restaurants, hospitality, convenience?
Yes, right.
Okay.
So takeaway also, we have some stadiums, football stadiums, ice hockey stadiums, and that's what our main business is, the restaurants into the shopping malls, the takeaways, and that's what we are doing as a business.
Great. And what kind of trends are you seeing as far as food and your customers?
There are the global trends. Switzerland perhaps may be a bit more traditional in what the trends is. So the trends always are developing in the US, of course, and then coming back to Europe, to old Europe, 2 or 3 years later. So we are going, perhaps we had a look last time at the rosé trend, which is exploding in the US. In Switzerland, we see it slowly coming in. So we're a bit behind the real trendsetters like you in the US. But for this also, it's a great experience to work with ECRM because we see the trends before they are coming.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And well, one of the things we talked about last night was the wellness trend and natural organic and how that is. Well, people are talking about that's what they want, but it's not always necessarily reflected in what they actually eat. You're seeing that too, right?
We did a big work by interviewing our customers, asking what they want. So the answers were free from, vegan, naturally grown, all what is sustainability. And so we created a concept for this demand. Didn't work so well because they wanted even the old good things like deep fried stuff, like roasted chicken and all this stuff, which is not vegan, which is not free from, and perhaps sustainability is not so a big issue there. So we went a bit back by mixing up these 2 concepts, and we are very good on the way now. With,
so you found a
mix.
blend, the blend that matches their want of healthier foods, but also they like to indulge a little bit. So now you've kind of found that
and
match.
The mixture is working very well now.
That's great. That's great. So we met last year at our Global Wine, Beer, and Spirits session, and and you were with a different company then.
Yeah, right.
So now, why? What is your impression? That was your first time working with ECRM, and so now this is your second time. What is it about our sessions that draw you to them?
Well, it may be my personal impression. The first impression,
yeah.
it's the first day. But I think in Europe it's a bit more slower. So the process is slower. In the US it was really pushy, which I love because it's so effective if you go home with so many new contacts and so many ideas and people who mostly wouldn't have met if it's not on an event like this. So it's a bit you have more time. It's a bit not so busy.
Yeah, we have all 20-minute meetings here instead of 10-minute meetings.
So it makes a big difference.
Yes. Okay.
And on the other side, it's very effective also. So I had a few good meetings this morning with producers I wouldn't have met otherwise, and that's a great story.
Great. So you look to come. If you find a few good wins.
Of course,
from here, that's the goal.
Of course.
Okay, what about as far as preparation for this session? Have you worked closely with our team, the international team, to get ready?
Yeah. So the positive point is they push you also, so that's very good.
Okay.
To have the reminders. Hey, did you check? Did you have some opportunities to see? what happened. So I had prepared it with my staff. I have a team of 17 people who's working with me. So we were discussing it already at home and checking what is website, what is the name of the producer into our market. Is he known? Is he not known? What is he? What's the strengths of what he's doing?
So you did your research already on the suppliers that you're going to be with. What makes for a good ideal supplier relationship? What do you expect from a supplier in order to have a solid, to feel confident in working with them?
There are different things. First, it helps if he's not present already in our market, because you're the first to introduce him.
Okay.
Then he should be self-confident on his product and on his work he's providing and doing. And of course, also the products at itself should be at the top.
Okay.
So that's what we are looking for.
Great, and they obviously should know a little bit about your company going into the meeting, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, great.
Because
Well,
we did our homework.
Yes. Yeah, no, you guys did a lot of homework for it. So, and that's an important thing that we talk a lot about with both buyers and suppliers that are attending, is to make sure you do as much prep work as you can, so that when you focus on a meeting, you could just be present and focus on the meeting at hand. And what about the networking opportunities? I mean, we had the opportunity to be at the same table last night, but do you get a lot of value from the networking opportunities?
Yesterday, you experienced it yourself. You have such an international environment. You have people from all over the world joining a good dinner. That makes it easy to get into the network and to share and have experience in common. So that always helps then. Further to make connections with
and
everyone.
find new ones too.
Of course.
I have a question for you. As far as, since you've been to our sessions in the United States and now we're here in Poland, do you think there's a value in the United States suppliers coming over to our sessions to kind of get more exposure to Europe?
I think it was something very special for me to join in the US. So normally. We wouldn't go to the US to do some random meetings with no specific target in kind of just an overview and to meet new people. Normally we go out to visit our existing suppliers. So it makes absolutely sense also to come to Poland or to Europe to meet here. Because not everyone is willing to fly over to have new possibilities to see it.
Great. All right. Well, thank you a lot for your time.
Thanks to you. Thanks for the invitation.
Cool.